Against the storm rarely collapses all at once. It unravels slowly, quietly, one system at a time. The settlement doesn't fail because it grew. It fails because it grew without margin, without slack, without reserves, without time. By the time the storm hits, the outcome is already decided. Welcome to The First Mistake, a channel about the moments games don't explain. But always remember, the small decisions, the quiet assumptions, the mistakes that decide to run long before the ending. Against the Storm presents expansion as progress. More buildings, more production chains, more resolve. Each glade open feels like momentum. The map grows, the economy diversifies, the queen's impatience slows. And for a while, everything works. This is why collapse feels surprising. Because nothing looks wrong until everything becomes fragile at the same time. Against the Storm is not a game about growth. It is a game about buffers. Food buffers, fuel buffers, resolve buffers, time buffers. The systems are not designed to break immediately. They are designed to absorb stress and then to reveal how much you actually stored. The first misunderstanding is assuming that production is the same as security. That as long as resources are being generated, the settlement is safe. This is false. Production answers only one question. Can you keep up under ideal conditions? Against the Storm is never ideal. Storms interrupt. Events demand. Villagers leave. Buildings stall. This is where buffers matter. A buffer is not efficiency. It is inefficiency you intentionally keep. Extra food you don't immediately convert. Extra fuel you don't burn. Idle workers you don't assign. Against the Storm lets you remove buffers in exchange for speed. And it makes that trade feel smart. Why store food when you can open another glade? Why keep fuel when resolve is stable? Why leave workers idle when another building could be producing? Its choice increases output, and its choice reduces tolerance. The settlement becomes faster and thinner. This fragility does not show up during drizzle. It shows up during the storm. Storms are not difficulty spikes. They are audits. They ask one question. How much slack did you keep? A buffered settlement slows down. Resolve dips, but stabilizes. Production pauses, but resumes. An unbuffered settlement spirals. Resolve drops below thresholds. Villagers leave. Production collapses. And suddenly, every system is under stress at the same time. This is where expansion reveals its cost. Opening glades increases demand. More mouths, more fuel, more events. If expansion outpaces buffers, stability decreases. But the player rarely notices this, because gains are immediate and losses are deferred. The first mistake is not expanding. It is expanding as if nothing will interrupt you. Collapses in Against the Storm is rarely caused by a single failure. It is caused by synchronization. Multiple systems enter stress at the same time. Food shortages coincide with storms. Resolve penalties stack with events. Fuel scarcity aligns with impatience. Each problem would be manageable alone. Together, they overwhelm. This is why collapse feels sudden. The player remembers the moment villagers leave. They remember resolve dropping below zero. They remember the queen's impatience spiking. But the settlement was already unstable. The storm did not cause the failure. It revealed it. Against the Storm constantly tempts you to convert buffers into progress. Food into resolve. Fuel into production. Time into expansion. Each conversion feels efficient because it works until it doesn't. A buffered settlement treats storms as expected interruptions. An unbuffered settlement treats storms as emergencies. Emergencies force bad trades. Burning fuel meant for winter. Selling food meant for survival. Opening glades for short-term relief. Each emergency decision shrinks buffers further. This creates a feedback loop. Less buffer means higher sensitivity. Higher sensitivity means more emergencies. More emergencies means faster collapse. Against the Storm is unforgiving once this loop begins, because recovery requires time. And time is the only resource you already spent. This is the hidden cost of aggressive expansion. Not resource loss, but temporal debt. When expansion outpaces buffers, every setback must be solved immediately. There is no room to wait, no room to rebuild, no room to absorb. Experienced players expand differently. They do not ask, "What can I open next?" They ask, "What can I afford to maintain?" They open glades to solve specific constraints. They delay expansion when buffers are thin. They accept slower progress in exchange for resilience. What looks passive is actually defensive. What looks inefficient is actually safe. Against the storm does not reward growth. It rewards survivable growth. The first mistake is not opening late. It is opening them as if the storm won't come. Because it always does. If you enjoyed this channel is about the moments games don't explain. But always remember, the small decisions, the quiet assumption, the first mistakes. This was the first mistake. See you before the next one.